Hey guys, Joe DeMarco from the Crazy New York Driver Show for Friday, October 18th, 2019. Welcome to another eBay video. Today we're going to be discussing some of the eBay glitches we've encountered this week. I'm also going to give you some updates about sending offers to watches and tell you some things you may not already know. I'm going to update you on my PayPal case, and I actually have quite a bit of new information to cover today, and I'm also going to cover the little tidbit that I dangled in front of you last week when I said I had some special announcement to make. That will be covered today. You know guys, I actually tried to film this video outside earlier, but the noise was beyond compare. The noise at my house is 5 times louder than this commercial strip right here. First of all, there were landscapers next door. Then the other house had a crew cutting Belgian blocks. Then the town was working outside because we had a very bad storm yesterday and tree limbs came down along with power lines. But the weather here has just been awful. As you will see in the video clip I'm about to show you, it's still cloudy, windy, no sun predicted whatsoever for the next few days. Let me just show you the video that I almost put out so you can hear the noise that was in the background. If he had your item on the watch list. And secondly, if he does receive said offer, are you responsible? Do you have to then credit him $25? That being said, guys, I spared you all that noise of a residential neighborhood. Instead, we're here in this nice, quiet commercial area. Let us start with your comments, questions, and concerns from last week. The first few people wrote in about the person illegally selling the USPS priority supplies on eBay. Black Lotus Boutique wrote, Joe, thank you for exposing the guy selling the USPS packaging supplies. Also, I might add that these China sellers are saying they live in the USA, but clearly are not from the USA. I seriously wish eBay would do something about this. It is wrong on every level. I despise it, and I'm so with you on that. I highly doubt eBay will do anything about it, but they should. Wooden Stuff with Steve French wrote, there are tons of people illegally selling free USPS shipping supplies, and there's no way to actually report them. Sure, you can report a listing, but you have to choose between drop-down lists of reasons. And of course, none of those reasons apply, and there's no way to actually type in a custom reason for reporting. Vintage Philly PA wrote, good job, Joe. That seller is already down on Saturday morning. I will give them the benefit of the doubt and say they thought they struck gold. Who wouldn't want free inventory and free shipping provided by the retailer? LOL, he must have watched someone else's video to learn something like that. By the way, only one sip today? Have a good week. Okay, to address those 3 comments, I think it's despicable that any person would be fitchy enough to try and sell free USPS priority mail supplies on eBay. Guys, if you see that kind of thing, I implore you to report it to eBay. And if you have a good relationship with your postmaster and you think they will listen to you, report it to them too. Crosswalk Larry wrote in about glitches, and this was a very timely comment. Another eBay glitch. Seems I sent a watcher an offer and he sent me an email that he could not complete the transaction at the offered price. I had to adjust the price manually for him to buy. Also seems eBay must have had sellers' visibility on 24 hours a day on the 3-day weekend. Sales were off the charts. I am sure to make up for last month's promoted listing debacle. Okay, a couple of points there, Crosswalk Larry. Number 1 is the bad news. We have a lot more glitches this week, and they're a lot more serious than that. I'd also like to point out that when a person contacts me with a legit best offer, I never send him the best offer through eBay messages. because immediate payment is not required. Manually fix it in the listing where immediate payment is required. That way I know I do not get stiffed. As far as sales are concerned, my sales have been excellent, A+, with the exception of Wednesday. Wednesday, for the first time, and as long as I can remember, I was shut out. And I honestly believe it's due to the glitches, which I will discuss as soon as I'm reading these last few comments. Joseph George wrote, "Hey Joe, all of my sales are buy it now. However, occasionally I'll get someone wanting to negotiate with me on a price. So today someone wanted me to negotiate, but when I told them the price was firm, here's how he replied. Quote, everyone has a price. You'll need to be negotiable if you want to get a sale. I'll ask again, what is the best price? X dollars is not reasonable. Ask yourself, would I pay X dollars? If the answer is no, then the price is too high." Unquote. I didn't even reply, but I blocked him. As I've told you guys many times, I have no objection to a person throwing out a best offer, even if it's a lowball offer. Maybe I can work with them. But anytime they say, what is your best price, or what is the lowest you will go, I run as fast as I can in the opposite direction. And all I say to them is, try and get it locally. That way you will save on shipping. And 99% of the time, they never contact me back. Cynthia Mack wrote, "Another great video, Joe. Thanks for taking your time to provide us sellers with invaluable information and insight. Always love your ending with your wonderful laugh." Hey, what's not to love, right? And the last comment is from Joseph Henkin. "Hi, I'm a new seller on eBay. I've been watching your channel. It's really helped me a lot. Thank you. I bought a video game from a seller who only sells video games. His listing said the game was very good. I got the game. It was all scratched up and it would not play in my machine. I tried to contact him, but I got no response, so I filed a claim with eBay. I haven't heard anything back yet. I shipped the item back. Now will they refund my shipping that I paid to get the item? Thanks for all you do." Well, Joseph, if you did it the correct way through the eBay return system, you'll be okay. I'm hoping that in this case you clicked not as described, that you printed the label through eBay and sent it off back to the seller. That way the tracking number was automatically uploaded and eBay can see that you in fact shipped the item back. If you did not do it through eBay, you must manually upload the tracking number. That is ultra important. So yeah, that's it for the comments, questions, and concerns. I don't want to read too many this week because we have a lot of new material to cover. Before we start any new material, like I always do, I'm going to stop and take drink number 1 from the Fox News Cup O' Life. This is the Fox News Cup O' Life. Happy is he who drinks from it. Yeah. I'm going to start off by talking about the glitches this week. Apparently, I believe it started on Tuesday. It could have been Monday. I was away, but I'll get to where I was in a second. I believe it started Tuesday, where people who sell clothes have been hit hard with glitches, whereas the size of the item that they are selling is no longer carrying over to the new form. So to try and explain what I just said, let's say you're selling a t-shirt and the size is large, and you listed this t-shirt, let's say last month, and you correctly filled in the item specifics as large. Now, if a buyer uses the left navigation bar and goes by size, let's say, and wants a large t-shirt, your item probably is not going to show up. The people have been going crazy on Facebook talking about this glitch because apparently a lot of people that I know sell clothes, and these cats are very, very vocal. Even some of the people that I know who are usually a little bit laid back and timid are screaming at the top of their lungs on Facebook. So any of you guys who are on Facebook probably know exactly what I'm talking about. So apparently some of the clothes sellers have called eBay and made their case known, and eBay told them they're working on it, but they have no idea when this glitch is going to be fixed. This is hurting a lot of people who sell clothes. Now, somebody mentioned that it's also affecting eBay Motors, but I have not found that to be the case as far as my listings are concerned. I checked my item specifics and everything is showing up as it should. So, any of you guys that have been affected from this glitch, I definitely want to hear about it right now, this second. Just tell me what category you're selling in and the glitch that you've encountered. For instance, you may sell in clothes, and you may find that your sizes are not showing up, and therefore your items are not searchable when a buyer searches using the left search field by size. As I said, I was shut out on Wednesday, which is the first time in a long time I've been shut out. I honestly believe that there was some kind of a glitch on Wednesday because a lot of people were reporting slow sales or no sales. Now on Thursday, my sales picked back up again, but not to the extent they were before Tuesday. Now I want to talk about sending offers to watchers. I would like to address two key points that have been on my mind for a long time. And I talked to Harry Temkin a couple of days ago, one-on-one in person. I'll explain in a minute. And he clarified this for me. So listen very carefully to this. Hypothetical situation. Let's say you have 5 iPhones for sale. It's a quantity listing. They're $100 each. You listed them on October the 1st. None have sold. On October the 7th, you decide to send offers to watchers. You have 5 watchers, so you send out the offers to them. However, none of them take up the offer, none of them buy, no sale is made. Okay. 2 weeks later, you still have the 5 iPhones, none have sold, so you decide to send offers to watchers again. You go to send offers and you see there are 7 people watching your iPhone. But you're a little concerned that you might be sending the offer to one of the cats you sent an offer to earlier this month. You don't want to nag the same buyer over and over again. Number one, it's not professional. And number two, it could be aggravating. Well, that's something that's been on my mind a long time. And I actually asked Harry Temkin myself about this, and he says it cannot happen. Each buyer can only receive 1 offer per item. Therefore, the 5 people who received the offer for your iPhone last week will never get that offer again. So if you see you have 7 watches on your iPhone right now and you want to send offers again, don't worry about nagging the same buyer. It can never happen. eBay has safeguards in place to prevent that. So that, I feel, is very, very good news. Now, number 2, also regarding offers to watches. And this one's a little trickier, so stick with me. With the iPhones again, you have 5 iPhones for sale. They're $100 each. On October 1st, John Smith buys one for $100, pays right away, you send it to him. Okay? On October 8th, you decide to send offers to watches. There are 5 people watching your iPhone. Is there a chance you might inadvertently be sending an offer to John Smith, the guy who already purchased your iPhone? And number 2, if the answer is yes, can John Smith then request a $25 credit from you? Because you're offering him the iPhone $25 cheaper than you sold it to him for originally at the $100 price. So you understand my question there? The answer I was given was, we're going to have to look into that. I don't have a clear answer for you yet on that. because the team is checking on that to see if it's possible. I honestly don't know at this time, and this is coming from eBay reps one-on-one that I talked to in person the other day. I sure hope that's not possible. You may remember the last few weeks I've been talking about a PayPal case. What happened is several weeks ago, a guy bought an item from me on eBay, a set of 4 hubs. He received them, and he opened the case on eBay saying, "Doesn't fit," and claimed one of the 4 items did not fit. I accepted the return. I said, "Send one back, no problem." But he wouldn't do it. He refused to send it back. So eBay closed the case in my favor. Within 5 minutes later, he opened the case on PayPal, this time claiming item not as described. PayPal said to him, "You have to send all 4 back to get the $150 back." He refused to do it. He will not send the items back. So PayPal closed the case in my favor and sided with me. So where do we go from here? Will he go to his credit card company? Only time will tell. Okay, let's get to the main topic here. My little tidbit that I dangled in front of you last week. What was I referring to? Well, guys, I was very honored to have been invited to the New England eBay Sellers Meetup in Portsmouth, New Hampshire this past Monday night. So I went on a road trip. I drove 4.5 hours each way to attend this session. Brian Burke and Harry Temkin were also there. And let me tell you something, it was worth the 4.5 hour drive each way. I have a funny story to tell you about the drive, but I'll tell you about that later if I still have time in the video. But Harry Temkin gave a very great presentation about the ad block situation that was going on a few weeks ago on eBay. To rehash, you may remember where somebody had made a video saying some of our items were being blocked by ad blockers if we were in promoted listings. And that video went viral and all hell broke loose. And I'm happy to say that Harry Temkin has assured us that eBay has fixed that issue. But rather than you hear it from me, I'm going to let you hear it from Harry himself. Harry Temkin has graciously agreed to do a short presentation for the viewers of the Crazy New York Driver Show. This part of the video was filmed on Monday night up in New Hampshire. So I'm now going to turn the floor over to Harry, and then we'll come back and discuss a few more things. Hey guys, we're here at the New England eBay Seller Meetup hosted by Robin Levin, who's off camera, you can't see her. But it's Monday evening, and Harry Temkin and Brian Burke are both here. And right now, Harry's going to discuss with you a few things that he thinks you're going to be very interested in. So let me now turn it over to Harry Temkin.
All right. Well, thanks very much, Joe. And as you said, we're here up in Portsmouth, New Hampshire at the New England eBay Meetup. It's been awesome. Thank you so much, Robin, for inviting me.
There's Robin.
We had a big turnout tonight, and we went over a lot of cool stuff. Some of the stuff we talked about are a lot of follow-ups from what we had talked about at eBay Open. In particular, we're continuing the push on item specifics. I want to remind all our sellers how important item specifics are. It's not just about the title. You want to give us title and the item specifics. And here's a couple of key points. Item specifics are key when our buyers are using left-hand navigation to search for your listings. And if you don't provide the item specifics, your listing's not going to show up when they use the left-hand navigation. So it's super important to give us those. And to make it easier to give us those, we're redesigning the entire workflow. We launched it at Open where we showed, and we're doing this across many categories. We've done home and garden already. We're now into electronics. We'll start CS&A this quarter, where we're redesigning the workflow. so that we're going to elevate the most important item specifics to buyers to the top of the flow. Remember, we're going to give you the data as well. We're going to show you the buyer demand data, how often were those item specifics searched for, so that your time is spent efficiently. You know exactly which item specifics are the most important, and you can focus your attention on those. Now, in this quarter, we're on to our phase 2 and phase 3 of that program. So you're going to start to see things like post data information, meaning we're going to now notify you which listings are missing those required and highly recommended aspects, and you're going to be able to edit those directly from active listings. So again, to make it super, super easy. We're going to start adding all that information to our APIs. So for our sellers that are coming through our third parties, you'll have all that very same data that we've provided in our listing flows in the third parties as well. So some really exciting stuff coming up on item specifics. We also talked a lot about the promotional capabilities on the platform, not just promoted listings, but things like volume pricing and order discount, all the things in the marketing engine and the seller marketing engine. For those of you that sell multi-quantity, we're really stressing that you use volume pricing. It gives a significant uplift in conversion. Our data is suggesting at least a 10% uplift in conversion when you use volume pricing. And again, the first iterations of that, we made it easier to add it to your listing by putting it directly into the listing flow. Now we're adding that directly into active listings. You're going to see some new filter pills in active listings. They're going to show you your multi-quantity listings and then enable you to engage volume pricing in bulk across all of those listings. We'll slowly but surely start adding other tools from the SME, from the seller marketing engine, also into active listings like order discount and the like. And then lastly, we've been doing a lot of work on our negotiation tools. This year, as many of you know, we launched seller-initiated offers. We've been enhancing them significantly, or what we call offers to watchers, offers to buyers. And we are now, the latest updates, originally you could send offers to to buyers that had added the item to their watch list. We recently made it so when a buyer adds it to their cart, you now can send them initiated offer. And now we're going to be adding the counter offer capability, just like we have in best offer. So right now, SIO is a one-time, one-way communication, and the buyer either accepts or declines it. Now, by adding counter offer, you'll be able to negotiate with that buyer, just like they could when they sent you an offer and you could counter them. So we think that's going to be a very, very powerful tool, and we'll continue to help with conversion in using SIO. So that's a couple of the highlights that we spent some time on this evening here in New England.
Sounds like your team's been very busy.
We've been extremely busy, and we're going to be extremely busy all the way through holiday season.
Well, thank you for the information, Harry.
All right, thank you.
Robin, would you like to say something?
I just want to say it was a fabulous evening. I'm very excited to have a very, very special personality here, Hubcap Joe, all the way from New Jersey. We had Brian Goodman in from Las Vegas, Mr. Bigfoot, Bobby Miller, the original founder of the New England eBay and e-commerce sellers group, and Brian Burke from eBay corporate at San Jose, and Harry Temkin. It was the cherry on the sundae tonight, and thank you all for coming.
Thanks for having us, Robin.
Yes, thank you, Robin. It was awesome. Thanks for inviting us.
Okay, guys. The key takeaways from Harry's presentations: number one, eBay has fixed the issue with the ad blocker. Number two, it is imperative to use item specifics when you're listing your items. I always do it in eBay Motors, and that's why my sales are so good. Sad to say, there is a problem right now with you guys who sell in clothes and clothing. Hopefully that'll be rectified, but if you guys have any information on that or have heard anything one way or the other, please tell us below. Also, it is imperative, not imperative, but it was a good idea to use volume pricing if you're selling a quantity listing. I myself use volume pricing. For instance, let's take this Honda hubcap right here. Hit. Okay? Let's say I'm selling one, but it's a quantity listing. You can buy up to, let's say, 5. The first one's $25. Buy 2 or more, you can get them at 5% off. Buy 3 or more, you get them 10% off, or buy 4 or more, you get them for 15% off. I find it's a very handy tool, and it helps keep buyers on your listing a little bit longer. A few more takeaways from the New England eBay Sellers Meetup, if I may. I met some really cool people. Some of them I've known for a long time, some of them I'd never met before. Let me see if I have a photo to show you here. I'm sure I do. Well, it's kind of small, but here's a group photo. Can you see it? So yeah, it was a pretty good turnout. We had it in the Roundabout Diner. That's where they have it, and the food was excellent. A+. One of the sellers who I got talking to was a nice lady who lives up there in New Hampshire, and she said something very funny to me. She said, "Joe, I got to tell you something. I use your line all the time to my husband." I said, "My line?" I said, "What do you mean?" She says, "Anytime my husband does something I don't agree with, I say to him, 'Don't be fitchy.'" I can't make this stuff up, guys. I thought that was very funny. Here's a funny story relating to my trip. Going up, it happened going up and it happened coming back. And for you guys who drive long distances, I bet it's happened to a lot of you. It's happened to me many times over the years. So, as I said, it was a 4.5-hour trip each way. And I'm making good time, and I'm in Massachusetts. And I'm moving along, and one of the things I do when I'm on a long trip is I check out people's license plates to see where they're from. So I'm in the left lane, and there's a car in the next lane over with New Jersey plates. So that kind of caught my eye to see another New Jersey car up there. So as I went by, I looked at the car, and I looked at the people. There were 4 people in the car, apparently a family, and the car was sitting a little bit low to the ground. It was a Ford. And you know how some of these Ford passenger vehicles can't support much weight. And the guy was putting along in the middle lane, doing a steady 55 or 60. So I passed him. Okay? Now about 10 or 15 miles up the road, I came upon one of those rest stops where you pull in, you get gas, go to the bathroom, and get a bite to eat. This was on the Mass Turnpike. So I pulled in because I really had to go to the bathroom. Pulled in, I parked the car, I go in, I go to the bathroom. And this rest stop was really hopping and really busy. So I came out, got into my car, and I hit a little bit of a traffic jam in the rest stop itself because people were coming in and out, and most of the people were either really old or travelers who didn't know where they were going. So that kind of slowed me down quite a bit. But I got back out onto the Mass Turnpike and I continued heading north. And I was getting directions off my iPhone. So about maybe another 10 miles up, I had to get off and get onto another highway. I think it was 90 or 91 off the top of my head. I did that. 5 miles up the road from there, who do I pass but that same family in the red Ford with the Jersey plates putting along. Can you believe that? That is not the first time it happened to me. It also happened to me on the way home. But I thought that's kind of a funny story, and I'm sure it's happened to some of you guys too in the past. Also, up at the New England eBay Sellers Meetup, there was an eBay seller there who's also a postmaster. And she said, do not ship anything media mail if it's not actually media mail. Because she related a story about a guy coming in with a box that said media mail. And she said to him, are you sure that this is books in here and nothing else? And the guy said, sure, it's books, I guarantee you. As soon as he left, they opened the box because they have the right to inspect all media mail. And sure enough, he was selling stuffed animals. So what they did was they sent it on to the buyer, but the buyer got tagged postage due. So please do not send anything media mail if it's not actually media mail. One last topic and I'll let you go. I know I kept you guys unusually long, but I felt it was important that we had to talk about all this stuff. In the description box below, you will see a link to a new version, the newest version of the Fitchy song. At this time, it's probably just under 600 views. We need to get this to 1,000 views. I am asking everybody watching this video at some point tonight to click that link, watch the video, give the singer a thumbs up and a positive comment if you can. You know, I don't think that's too much to ask. I promised him 1,000 views, and he's gonna get 1,000 views because I'm gonna mention it every single week for the rest of my life until we hit 1,000 views. We're more than halfway there. You guys can do it. Show this man support. He put a lot of effort and time into writing that song and singing it. I think we owe it to him. Guys, I'm Crazy New York Driver and you're not. Thanks for watching this video. Each week I come out here and I make these videos to try and help you be successful on eBay. If you think I did a good job, please give me a thumbs up. It tells me I'm on point and appreciated. If you don't think I did a good job, tell me in the comment section below what you want me to hit up next week and I'll be glad to do it. Remember, I'm a seller friend, not a seller critic or skeptic of any kind. I've solved a lot of problems. I'm still making money online. I've never worn a mask and I never will. And I actually am a CEO and a CFO of my own company. Right? So yeah, that being said, guys, I know we have some problems this week on eBay. All right? I'm telling you we do, okay? But it's going to work out. All right? It's going to take a little time, but it's going to work out. You're free to comment anything you want about eBay, the glitches, what's going on, and I'll try and respond to some of them tonight. So yeah, go out there, make a ton of sales, rock on, and peace! One more drink from the Fox News Cup O' Life, if I may. This is the Fox News Cup O' Life. Happy as he who drinks from it. Yeah. Also, I forgot to do this shout out earlier. A big shout out to Robin Levin, who actually runs the New England eBay Sellers Meetup group. Shout out to Brian Burke and Harry Temkin. Brian flew all the way from San Jose to go to the meetup. Harry flew from right over here to go to the meetup. So it's great that these guys are willing to visit us and be so accessible. If any of you guys have meetups in your area, please go to them. I guarantee you, you won't be sorry. Nothing else for me to say except don't be fishy! Yeah!